Hi, it's Johnny, and here's just a nice simple tip for staying on top of finances. So this happened to me just earlier today. I got a renewal for a thing. It was my email service. It doesn't matter what it is. And I have successfully made this into a habit now. Whenever I get a renewal for a thing, or I sign up for a new thing, usually the sort of annual thing, I do this now without thinking. And the trick to doing this without thinking is to do it the moment it happens and not to defer it and not to leave yourself a reminder to do it. You just do it right there and then. So here's what happens. You sign up for some service. Let's just call it service. You'll see my actual services in a second. And you put it immediately in your to-do system for 1 year time, telling yourself that it's going to renew. Here's how you do this specifically in things. And if you don't use things, just adapt for your own to-do system. It really helps if your system has a quick entry shortcut on things. You can press Control Space by default and it'll bring up the little window and then just type whatever it is, will renew. I tend to use that kind of slightly future tense because when this comes round, it's going to come round before the thing renews. So this is a message to future me that the thing will renew, hasn't yet renewed, because this gives me a chance to cancel it if I no longer use it. I'm Australian, many things are billed in US dollars, so again, when it comes round, it's important for me to understand actually how much that's going to cost me. $100 is about 150 of my dollars, so if I put US 100 in there, I know that's about 150. And also what I find useful, I put different things on different cards. Some things go on my business, some things are personal, so I'll put in the notes which specific card the thing was off. So again, in a year, if I want to cancel it, I've just got more context. Now, in things from this quick entry window, we can immediately move this to the correct place. So assuming this is a business thing, we're going to put that straight into my money earned, spent, saved and owed category. And I'm going to press save now because what I now need to do is to set some repeats on this, which in things we can only do from the next window. So here we are in category 13, which is weirdly empty. And I'll show you why in a second. This is my actual system. This is Johnny's actual business system. So what I'm going to do is first move that down to expenses because that's what this will be when it comes around. Now here's the trick to repeating these things. If you press Command-Shift-R, you'll get this doer up here. What you want to do is repeat every year because if you cancel it in the future, you can just delete the task. So it might as well come around every year and set this for the day before it will repeat. So let's say this thing's going to repeat on the 20th of May 2027. I'm going to set this to repeat every 1 year on the 19th of May. Now, the trick with things has, if you've seen our task and project management course, you'll know things has two types of dates. What I'm going to do here is add a deadline, which means that the date above, the 19th of May, will be a deadline on this task, and it will appear with a little deadline flag. And to me, a deadline indicates something that once that date has passed, I can no longer do anything about the task. So if I lapse past that date, that's just on me and the thing might as well not have existed. So this is a deadline. They will bill me again on the 20th, so I set a deadline for the day before. Now, I don't want to find out about this the day before because that isn't time enough to cancel the thing if I don't want it to renew. And I might be on holiday or I might not see my computer. So what you want to do then is start sometime earlier. 7 days, 14 days for me. I think I'm going to know 14 days before if a renewal is either going to be renewed or not. And that gives me 2 weeks to cancel it. And what this is going to do is 14 days before the 19th day of May every year, this task will appear in my to-do view. So it's really nice use of things dates. Click OK and you can see what things has done. I'm just going to hide that view with Command-Shift-E. Because that's disappeared. Because what things does by default, which is why there's currently nothing in my list of 13 here, is if something isn't due yet, if you set something with a date in the future, then things hides it when you've got this hide later items turned on, which is Command-Shift-E. So if I turn on all of my later items, all of a sudden you can actually see all the stuff that I need to do later, but I can't do any of this stuff now, so what's the point of me seeing it? And now you can see this really nice view. Look at what things does. You've got 2 for 1 here. You have reminded yourself that this thing's going to come up, so there's no surprises. You've got 3 for 1. The second thing is that you've given yourself a chance to cancel it, so that might save you some money. And the third thing is you now have this comfortable view of all of your commitments through the year. And I look at this and my January, February is a bit of a nightmare. And I find this helps me plan the year. It certainly makes me look at this and think I don't need some of these things, so this is probably going to save me some money. And if nothing else, it just gives you awareness of what you're going to spend, and then Command-Shift-E will hide all of that again for you. If you make that a habit, the moment you spend any money, that's going to repeat. Hit the shortcut, type it in. It takes about 20 seconds once you've done it a few times. Learn the shortcuts, and you will never miss a bill again.